There we go. And this will be the match pretty much. Of course, Hazard could take both of you on, and Rhaegar's a one-shot. Z-Slayer's not quite a one-shot yet, but Hazard's at full, and he's got a derpy cannon, so that hurts. And while we get Crimson in position, the two of them just play around with Hazard, which, peek, play around with Hazard, however you want to put it.
It's Hazard put me on comms momentarily as I see them peeking on the derpy.
But Crimson ends up doing it with his nice little hetzerness. So that's round 3. So right now, in our favor, it's 2-1. And we're going to watch the third round again, T50 South Side. Alright, so 2 times speed. Three, 2, 1.
Time to roll out.
Once again, we send guys middle, trying to gain middle superiority, and then from there we can either flex into their base or flex north. So a lot of this is just pretty vanilla stuff. You gotta figure out where the map needs to be controlled at, and then keep doing that. Of course, Cybran dies again.
That's how you pro go down the hill, right there. This time really, really early, trying to go around to the south, which is what a lot of teams leave open. We learned when it was used on us. Of course, now the T50 comes in, and I have to run away. So, bailing out.
Someone early shot that E50. I don't know who that was, but that's clutch.
And that's the reason he probably doesn't chase me any further. If he chased me further, he actually might have been able to take me on a little bit, because he's doing rather well in a T50. And so I just start coming around, just spotting above you. You go low, and we jump all over him. I think you get a majority of it. I think maybe all of the damage, but
yeah, nice
a moment, yeah, but a nice, yeah, short clip. And that's the advantage of the Covenanter. Nice clipping right into enemies. So now we actually have control of this side of the map as far as both teams are aware. Canada is trying to get free damage. They bring the Steward around because they're afraid at this point. So it's 2-on-2, but you, Millard, are caught out. And I have to come try and save your butt, but I don't think I'm going to be able to.
I don't think so. I flipped this guy pretty successfully, but you should have popped over there and just popped the delay. But hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah. At that point, he gets really nice shots on the move and finishes me off. So I hesitated when trying to go in to help you, and then Rhaegar has to come back and try and save us all. And this is just like we saw last time, which I watched the rest from Rhaegar's point of view. So we're going to speed it up to about 8 times, and it's just going to go.
That M5A1 was a one-shot, and Rhaegar picks him up like a champ, and then there we go.
Yep. Alright, so we're going to watch the last battle now from the M5's view again. Finish it up. This is the final battle, the winner, and it'll end up being 3-1 in favor of Team Plaid. For this one, they actually change it up. They actually bring 2 T50s instead of, what was it, the Panzer III?
Correct, yes.
Yeah. So I think something about the T50 to them has made an impression. Just its effectiveness. Maybe because Canada's been doing great, or because Doppler says, I want to be a T50, I want to run around, and I don't like my little derp cannon. I like my awesome T50 gun. So Doppler goes and jumps into the T50.
Move out.
which I actually want to ask him why they did it, because T-50s are cool and all, but as far as on the move accuracy, it's really actually terrible. It's just shots can go anywhere.
I think their PZ-3 was actually struggling to be useful. He was such a huge frame that up in the north, he was either getting one shot or forced to camp really, really hard. And even then, the derp gun I saw bounce a couple times off a Hetzer. So I imagine they're just looking to get for a little bit more mobility and potentially a way better stationary gun, though not on the move, as you pointed out.
Yeah. T-50 is probably a better just tank all around for this whole area, just depression and everything. Panzer III had a lot of trouble, like especially in that last fight. He only got one hit out of maybe 4 or 5 shots, so a derp gun is a bit risky. But there we go. We see R up in mid, we see Lobster, and this time we don't send Cybern up north. This is the time when we actually change a lot of that up, and we say no, Cybern gets to stay back and he gets to cover us. We'll move him up later. In the meantime, though, we've got 3 over in the south, and then we've got these guys over here doing their work. Rager does the thing he's been doing every single match, all game, and they still haven't figured out how to counter him or something.
Once again, with 3 in the middle, I think we all thought, at least I did, that there would be more play with both T-50s, that they would really try to challenge that, but once again, they don't really seem to want the middle that much.
Yeah, I don't think they give it much credit, even though I think it's going to bite them this round.
Enemy is hit.
They just bring it back, do the normal thing they've been doing every single time. They don't really bring anything new or surprising, and neither do we. We change it up only a little bit by bringing one more tank to the south. We see R again, I scout him, he gets a free hit on, and then Canada comes over, tries to do his thing again, gets free shots, but nothing. Millard, you move up over here. You actually cross over onto their side, their territory, their side of the map.
Yeah, and I'm hollering for Slayer to crawl to the top with me and come over the top, looking to just pick up that Covenanter for pretty much freebie.
Yeah. Because we know he's pretty much alone. We haven't seen the other T-50, we haven't seen the Samoa, we haven't seen anyone else over there. We know everyone is just about over in the north. And so R actually gets really aggressive for... I'm really not sure why, actually. He just gets really aggressive, and he starts taking me on. And I think at this point, then, Millard tries to get the kill. Yeah, Millard, you pick up the kill, you back down. And then between you and Z-Slayer, you're going to go all the way around to the south and start trying to get on Cat. I don't think they notice this. They think we're just going to try and pressure them more. I take some free, stupid damage. And, Canada's got me pretty much pinned down. The north, nothing's happening still. No one's moving up. No one's doing much of anything. It's pretty much a stalemate, which it's been for almost every single match.
They may never Slayer. That could be what gives us a little bit of edge here on the cap pressure. I'm not actually convinced he got light as we played crossing.
So there's Millard and Slayer going. Yeah, you guys were perfectly dark. I don't think they have the view range, and just having a decent crew probably gives you enough camo to get by.
We've hit them hard.
There's a trade here in the north. Usual positions. And actually, Cybern gets a really nice hit on Lobster. He gets to snake a shot right past the rocks there, right into Lobster, which I actually didn't notice until now. Doppler is back at base. Yes, Gatekeeper, this is the door. Doppler back at base is having to fight both of you, and he tries to run away, but you guys are clipping him out with some nice damage. But there's going to be a slight delay where he gets to live a little longer. I'm sitting mid, watching and waiting for something to come flank, but I'll miss, who is it? Canaduck. He's going to try and sneak up right into mid in just a second. And there he is, and he actually gets past me. And then Lobster returns to base. And so it's 3-on-2, but one of them is incredibly low. Canaduck gets spooked by by Rager shooting him, between Rager and me shooting him in the butt. And he backs down to try and get out or engage. Unfortunately, he kills himself. He jumps right off an edge and kills himself. He takes enough damage to finish off maybe, 9 health left for him. And then between you, Millard, and Z-Slayer, the two of you finish off Doppler and Lobster. So Doppler and Lobster go down, and you guys start capping. I run into the backfield here just to either flank or make sure that a TD is not coming back. So at this time, we've got the 4 guys moving up slowly, really just keeping him in position. We know we've got Cap, and I take on Striker long enough, and he kills me, to allow us to get the 100% Cap to win, so Cap fast. And there's the GG's. Alright, and that's the final battle, and we're going to watch one more with, from T50 side.
Word on the street is that Cybern picked up that Samoa through a Cupola shot, so props to Cybern.
Word. Hard shot to make.
Unless you're Cybern.
Unless you're...
That's me.
Apparently, yeah, I guess so. So we're going to watch this at 2 times speed. We're going to get out of my view because we'll give ourselves headaches. Crimson gets a crap spawn, but this time both Millard and Zisa are in perfect positions to run to the south side. I run for my spots, and you guys run for your nice little positions. I actually go for a passive here because I know that that R has been getting really aggressive with his spotting mid, and I'm expecting him just to come right at me. But of course he's passive enough, or has a good enough camo rating that I don't spot him off of the top of his turret. And I bail out. We get our normal spots up north there, and they begin their usual nonsense. But then we begin to feel out. Right here is where I'm actually trying to see if Canaduck is in his position. Because there are ways that he could spot me and I couldn't spot him. Although now I notice that he is in his position when I get lit, coming back up.
And we're communicating that on comms. Whenever you're getting left by somebody that's passive, you're giving us all a heads up and saying approximately where he is, and that's so helpful.
Because just learning how to know where someone is spotting you is a big part of everything. Knowing when someone just is in a passive position and that you can't spot is important. And at this point, here's where R comes in on me, and I don't really understand why, but he just gets aggressive, and so he dies. And there's Canaduck showing up in the position where he was, passive. I trade shots, but he gets better shots, and I just back off. I realize it's not worth it. We get some nice spots again. He takes some fire, but misses. And at this point, the 2 of you have run all the way south into their base. You tell Z-Slayer actually to wait up before getting on Cap so that you 2 can both get on at the same time. Which, there we go. There's Doppler showing up that I missed, and I start watching mid. I hope to catch the T50 coming down Canaduck, but I'm not going to catch him because he's just going to show up. Then we have our damage.
That's gotta hurt. They're hit.
And there's where he kills himself. At this point, you need me to find the guy, someone coming up mid, or coming back to base, or stop them. So I run up behind, and there's the M8A1, and he's not damaged yet, so I don't get to win that fight. And it's over though, so Cap fast, we win. And that's it, 3 for 1. War versus Plaid. And that was...
probably the best possible choice we could have had to put on Cap, honestly, because we could fight down a tank and still do it aggressively and do it effectively with that quick burst damage.
Alright, so, are there any other teams that you could think of that actually gave us a really good run for our money the whole tournament? Or was, I think War was probably the best games we got. Finals, of course, but,
yeah, absolutely. I think pretty much everybody else, we just, in a respectful sense, rolled. I don't think we really ran into anybody with the experience or player skill to challenge us like River of Blood did.
Yeah, River of Blood definitely had the players. But, there certainly were interesting matches coming up to it, but River of Blood had a good strat. It mirrored ours in some ways, but it just, I don't know.
I'd say the team that helped us prep most was...
User left your channel.
Was it Silk Fox's team from 53rd, perhaps? They ran 4 derps, I think, if I can remember the right team. And I found that was really beneficial for me and hopefully for you guys as well when we had to bring the Hetzer into our mix as well as adapt to a few more derps running around.
Yeah, because derps they're very dangerous if they're played A proper derp player will just destroy a tank, and that is a tank completely down. Whereas a lot of our tanks just kind of had these little hits that they came quick, but they weren't as powerful as the derps, and the alpha really can change the tide of a fight. Alright, so I think that is Skirmish 7 in review. I hope anyone who is watching, or will watch it, enjoyed it, and maybe learned something from it. If